Now at 10, Camp Quality holds its annual holiday party at the Monette YMCA. Plus, Christine's Vineyard in Webb City hosts a brunch and painting party. And local kids spend the day with a Santa on a Christmas train ride in Monette.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police say a vehicle ramped over the roundabout on South Main and crashed Friday night. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. It happened around 11:30 p.m. Witnesses say the vehicle was traveling around 100 miles per hour before it took the air and came crashing down. 2 men were in the car. The driver was taken to the hospital, though the extent of his injuries are unknown. The passenger refused care at the scene. Meteorologist Katie Frazier joins us with the first look at weather.
Good evening and happy Sunday to you. I hope you had a wonderful day today, as it was warm for this time of year, but we are going to be a good deal cooler tomorrow. The good news is we will warm right back up. We're also going to be tracking some wind overnight, and then I'll let you know when your next chance of rain will be across the 4 states. Now here's a look over our indigo sky camera, and as you can see, it is clear and calm, and the winds are even light right now, but I do expect that to change over the coming hours. Here's a look at our region as far as temperatures go, and we could see it is much cooler, of course, up to our north, but around the 4 states we are sitting in the 40s, but this temperature right now is about as warm as we'll get tomorrow. So big changes are coming, but they're only going to last for 1 day. I'll have more details in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Katie. Well, locals in the Webb City area today had the chance to put their creativity skills to use at a brunch and painting party. Painters used a picture as a template for today's paint party and were encouraged to put their own artistic spin on their canvas. The event is hosted by Christine's Vineyard.
I start with a sketch. I usually try to give them something to work off of, and then from there they can look at what I painted and use that as a guide. But then they can get creative and do their own thing.
The Vineyard will also be holding a 1920s themed murder mystery event on New Year's Eve. The season of giving is upon us, and a local organization in Monette is giving back by helping bring the spirit of Christmas to kids with cancer. KOAM's Jasmine Knight has the story.
Camp Quality is a year-long support program that has a goal of letting kids with cancer be kids again.
And we just want to give them a safe place to come, to be comfortable and just live life to their fullest.
For their annual holiday party, they chose Monette's YMCA, where kids can enjoy basketball, rock climbing, air hockey, ping pong, swimming, and more. For many, Camp Quality has meant so much to them.
We have been doing this for the past 25 years, I'd say. I've been involved for about 27 years. I was a camper at first, and now blessed to be able to be the director over it.
The special event had a few notable donors as well. Today's food was sponsored by the Christian Hetty Foundation, operated by KOAM's chief meteorologist, Doug Hetty. For the children involved, it makes a huge impact.
Well, it makes it way better whenever I get to meet other kids that have been through pretty much the same thing that I've been through. And it's like comforting that like we could talk about the same thing and they actually know what I'm like meaning and stuff.
Thanks to the Christian Hetty Foundation and Camp Quality, these kids with cancer were able to be kids again. Reporting in Monette, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
In the U.S., there are 17 total Camp Qualities, each one looking to create a better quality of life for the kids. AM Railroad and For the Kids Foster and Adoptive Parents Association partnered up to host a holiday train ride for families in Monette. Each train car had Christmas carols, and those in attendance enjoyed cookies and hot chocolate. Santa was also there to pass out goodie bags and to spread holiday cheer.
I just wanted to donate the caboose so the public could enjoy it and go for rides on it. And so I could go for rides on it also, and Jay.
The train ride lasted approximately 1 hour round trip going from Monette to Exeter, Missouri. The Webb City VFW today partnered with the First United Baptist Church to collect canned goods for area families ahead of Christmas. They boxed up donated items as well as a turkey, sugar, and eggs. More than 10 families received boxes this year.
This is part of what we do. Here we're both, American Legion and the VFW, and both of us, we try to help other veterans, and also we try to give back to our community, and this is a part of us trying to give back to our community.
Today was the last day that canned food could be donated. Amazon says it prepares all year long to be ready for the demand of the holiday season. The fulfillment center in Tulsa says it's hired 1,600 people this season to be able to handle it all. Reporter Jordan Tidwell shows us how they make it all happen.
Amazon says there are 650,000 items shipped from this fulfillment center per day. Things are moving as fast as ever as packages are being prepped, taped, and labeled, waiting to be delivered.
So we're servicing different areas from the Great Lakes region, which is the Chicago, Kansas City region, to Texas region. We have not seen any decrease in the volume. We're actually seeing the same trends that we said last year.
There's 25 million items inside the fulfillment center right now, being separated and sorted. During the holidays, Amazon ships 200,000 more items every day than during a slower time like summer.
The customer clicks on the order on Amazon.com. The system recognizes the order. Within 2.5 hours, which is our fast track service level agreement, we're able to pick it, pack it, and successfully load it to a trailer.
Operations Manager Janad Sanantis says robotics and artificial intelligence play a part in how quickly they can get things done. They use AI for product selection and adjusting to customer needs. There's also a robotic arm that moves bins from place to place.
We've got technology for so many different reasons. The safety of our associates is definitely number one on our priority. For example, the robotic arm that we have, it cuts the steps of our associates where they don't have to walk back and forth to get the exact same thing.
He says as soon as Christmas is over, they'll immediately start getting ready for next year. As stressful as it can be, he's glad to make sure gifts arrive just in time.
We absolutely feel like Santa's helper.
Parents in Missouri are worried about their children's safety after multiple students bring guns to school. We'll hear from one of them next. Guns, some loaded, are getting into our children's schools. In this past month, a gun has been found in Clever Middle School, Glendale High School, and Springfield. And last week, school leaders took a loaded gun from the locker of a middle school student in Branson. Parents are asking what more can be done to keep students safe from the threat of a weapon at school. Chardell Mel has more.
If we're taking care of our tourists, we should be able to take care of our locals and our children.
Jennifer Clark has 3 kids who attend Branson Public Schools. After a loaded gun was discovered inside a locker at the middle school on Monday, she now fears her children aren't safe at school.
There's no safety protocol for anything like this. You just get an email. You get an email, the children don't even know.
Clark says the safety of children should be a priority in Branson.
I understand it's a tourist town. A lot of people don't want to talk about things. You don't want to lose business. You're going to lose children. I would rather lose business than lose children.
Branson Police Chief Eric Schmidt could not comment on the specific incident at Branson Junior High, but has a reminder for gun owners.
Be responsible. When you take on the responsibility of having a firearm, there are a lot of responsibilities that come with that. From training, from knowing how to retain that firearm if you should ever need it so that it can't be used against you. You don't just buy it, take an 8-hour course, and then throw it in a drawer. You spend time learning how to use that tool and perfecting your skills.
We reached out to Branson Public Schools about the future safety protocols, but they did not want to comment. Jennifer Clark says she wants the school district to answer.
What do you think is a good safety precaution to start with to help not lose a child's life?
Branson schools did provide a statement saying the student was put in police custody and will face disciplinary action. And that's also the case with a student who brought guns into the Clever Middle School and Springfield's Glendale High School last month. Alex Jones is asking the families of the Sandy Hook school shooting to accept a small fraction of the more than $1 billion of debt that he owes them. The InfoWars host had declared bankruptcy after being ordered to pay nearly $1.5 billion in damage to several of the families. According to court documents filed Friday, Jones proposed a settlement that would guarantee the group at least $5.5 million a year for a decade. In exchange, the families would give up all legal claims against Jones. A little later, we take a look at AAA's prediction for the end of the year travel season.
Happy Sunday to you all. Today was not a bad day. In fact, our highs were 10 degrees above average across the 4 states. Certainly we can enjoy this, but tomorrow our highs are going to be a whole lot cooler than they were today. In fact, almost 20 degrees cooler. Right now, winds not looking too bad across the region, but I do expect them to pick up in just a couple hours now. So as we move through the overnight hours, you could see folks up in the northwest parts of our region, they're going to see the first gusty winds overnight tonight. So folks up there, Yates Center, Iola, you might hear a little bit of noisy winds moving in later on tonight. They will last through the early morning hours. Then as we move towards lunchtime, all of us will get a chance of some stronger gusts up to about 35 miles per hour. That will be the peak, nothing stronger than that. Fortunately, though, after 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we are looking much calmer as far as winds go. However, because we're going to have those winds, the temperatures will feel a whole lot cooler out there. We're only going to be in the 40s for highs tomorrow. It will feel more like the 40s. So speaking of highs, yes, 40 degrees will be where we're topping out across the 4 states tomorrow. Those gusts possible up to 35 miles per hour, but mostly in the morning before lunchtime. They will start to weaken after lunchtime, and then you'll have a nice evening in store tomorrow. As far as rain goes, we're not looking at really any activity for the next couple of days. However, rain chances are on the horizon as well. For later on tonight, as you can see, just winds out of the northwest. Temperatures on the cool side in the upper 30s. As we move through the overnight hours, they will drop down to the low 30s. But with the winds, it will feel more like the 20s out there. So certainly a morning you want to bundle up if you have to head off to work pretty early. By lunchtime, look at how warm our temperatures are going to be, only in the upper 30s and low 40s. So still on the cool side tomorrow. Then tomorrow afternoon, still in the upper 30s, low 40s. And with the winds, it'll feel a bit cooler out there. Some folks might have family already in town for the holidays, so here are some things you might want to do if you can just stay indoors tomorrow just because it's going to be chilly outside. Maybe play some board games with the family or do some gift wrapping. You could watch a Christmas movie, bake some cookies, or another good idea is make a gingerbread house. That's always fun to do. I can't wait to do that with my family this week. Your next several days looks like this with cooler temperatures only in the low to mid 40s tomorrow. Then we will have a warm up very quickly after Monday. So it's just going to be one cool day. Then warmer temperatures Tuesday, even Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But look at Thursday, 60% chance of rain. It is likely for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then as we look off towards Christmas, we'll be drying out with cooler temperatures on Christmas Day.
All right, thanks, Katie. Well, AAA is predicting that over 115 million Americans will travel between December 23rd and January 1st. But the busiest days are shifting this year, promoted by a change in work culture caused by the pandemic. CBS's Elise Preston is at Los Angeles International Airport.
The happiest season of all will also be one of the busiest.
We're projecting this to be the second highest year-end holiday following 2019.
With airline tickets and gas prices lower than last year, 104 million people are expected to hit the road, and a record 7.5 million are expected to fly.
How early did you get to the airport?
3 hours early. I am kind of worried about that, and I'm coming back January 1st, so I'm stressing out about that.
Crowded airports and holiday gatherings are also leading to a rise in COVID and flu cases. Nationwide, influenza cases are up 10% from a week ago. California also had a 40% jump in COVID hospitalizations.
If you're traveling, you have to be in close proximity to other people. So hopefully everyone stays healthy.
But the pandemic is also helping create a longer holiday season. Remote workers with greater job flexibility are beginning trips sooner and ending later, on average adding 6 days to their travels.
The Fridays and Saturdays used to be the peak travel days during the holidays, but the FAA says the Christmas crunch will actually be Wednesdays and Thursdays this year. Elise Preston, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead, a Major League Baseball catcher visits Pittsburgh to give young baseball players lessons. And the Kansas City Chiefs look to get back on track against the New England Patriots. Brock Baldridge has the highlights and more up next.
Well, last Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs lost their second straight game to the hands of the Buffalo Bills. And after $150,000 worth of fines later, post-game comments, the Chiefs' focus now turns toward the New England Patriots. Chiefs versus the Patriots in Foxborough. Kansas City has won 2 of their last 3 games against the Patriots in New England. So in the first quarter, no score. Mahomes is lined up as a fullback. Jerick McKinnon takes a snap and flips it to Rashee Rice, and he's in the end zone. Kansas City so good at those trick plays in the red zone. Chiefs take a 7-0 lead. In the second quarter, Patriots respond. Bailey Zappi goes to Hunter Henry, who's open for the score. Patriots tied this ball game up. It's now 7-7. Under a minute left in the first half, New England leads 10-7. Patrick Mahomes throws a nice easy pass to Jerick McKinnon. He's across the goal line. He is in. Kansas City takes a 17-10 lead into halftime. So in the third quarter, Mahomes looking to escape the pocket. He will float this one up to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. How about CEH in this game? Kansas City gets back in the win column as the Chiefs go on to beat the Patriots 27-17.
When you're as close as the AFC is right now, wins are hard to get, and you better enjoy each one, and they're very important. And so this one, no different than that because of the situation.
I think I always am this focused when I'm playing against Coach Belichick, because I know how many different schemes he's gonna put out there and how great of a coach he is. Obviously, trying to focus on the details as much as possible, and you want to get as many tells as you can. But in an important game, we needed to win, and so I was glad with how the guys responded, and we were able to find a way to win against a really good team.
Well, a special guest visits the world-class sports indoor baseball facility in Pittsburgh, Kansas this evening. Young baseball players get a chance to receive lessons from current Baltimore Orioles catcher James McCann. McCann is actually here on a hunting trip. Both he and one of his good friends, Zach Cox, who you might remember are both former Arkansas baseball players, they decided to stop by and provide hitting and catching lessons to youth baseball players in the southeast Kansas area. McCann says he wants to pass on information to young players and use his platform to give back to the youth.
Yeah, so my friend Zach and I, we've been down here hunting, and he does lessons for back home where he lives in Arkansas, and he has a relationship with a few people here, and just getting to come here and share a little bit of knowledge with kids. I would have given anything to have that as a young kid. So I do think it's part of my duty to use my platform to give back to the youth and just spread that knowledge.
Well, it didn't take long, but Pittsburgh State wide receiver Colby Katzis announced his plans to enter the transfer portal on Monday. 6 days later, he's found a new team to play with next season. The former Pitt State wide receiver is on his way to join former Pitt State head coach Brian Wright at Northern Arizona University. As many of you know, Wright took the head coaching job at NAU just 2 weeks ago. Katzis is the former MIAA Freshman of the Year from the 2022 season. This past season, Katzis had 655 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. Katzis still has 2 years of eligibility remaining. Over to Division I men's college hoops. Not too often we see these two teams face each other anymore. But today, they relive that rivalry, and it's Nebraska who surprises K-State at Bramlage Coliseum to dismantle the Wildcats. Nebraska beats K-State 62-46. Cam Carter and former Coffeyville Red Raven Tyler Perry each scored in double digits for the Cats. Missouri also in action on Sunday afternoon. The Tigers are at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City for a neutral court game against the Seton Hall Pirates. But Seton Hall tops Old Mizzou 93-87. Lamar Bates had 22 points for the Tigers in this one. So the Chiefs, well, they're back on track. And next game for the Chiefs, Monday, Christmas Day against the Raiders.
That'll be a good one. I'm excited.
I'm excited for it too.
Yeah.
Not too often you get those Christmas Day games, so I'm assuming a lot of people are going to open their presents and say, oh my gosh, I remember the Chiefs game. So
and they can wear their jerseys that they get under the tree.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Brock. We'll be right back with more news after this. A new movie topped the box office this weekend. Rick Damigella reveals which one in our top 5 countdown.
Trolls Band Together slipped to 5th place this weekend on ticket sales of $4 million, while Godzilla Minus One stomped back to 4th place with $4.9 million. Just ahead of it, The Boy and the Heron landed in 3rd with $5.2 million.
The Hunger Games, they're to punish the districts. Those tributes don't have a choice.
The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, held on to 2nd place this weekend, adding $5.8 million to its domestic total, which now stands at $145 million.
In Chocolate Maker.
The best chocolate in the world.
Ooh. Wonka wins weekend. The Willy Wonka origin story wrapped up its first place win with $39 million. That's just at the domestic box office. Variety reports the movie's worldwide total now sits at just over $151 million. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Here's what we're looking at for the next several days. Tomorrow will be on the cool side, 45 looking to be our high across the 4 states, but it's not going to last long. Well, keep in mind, we will have winds tomorrow. It'll make it feel even cooler. For Tuesday, warming back up. Wednesday, even warmer. Also expecting winds on Wednesday, but then look at by the end of this week, rain chances looking very likely. Fortunately, though, by Christmas, we're looking to be drying out by then.
All right, thanks, Katie. Definitely looks like a chilly one for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely looks like a chilly one.
Final sports note.
Well, former Pitt State head coach and national champion Tim Beck, he has announced that he is going to be the offensive coordinator at Vanderbilt. So he was with Jerry Kill's staff in New Mexico State. He's going to go into the SEC to be the OC at Vanderbilt. So we wish him luck.
All right, sounds good. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.